So the joke in MU is that I'm the person who got the maximum ROI. There was diversity and commonality. MBA is the place to find life partners. Anything that the team cannot fulfill, I was the go-to person. If I get a great opportunity, I can join that and continue my study as well. When we saw people playing, I think that was quite surreal.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to this edition of the Masters Union podcast. Today, we'll be talking to a current student in our second cohort, Deepanker Mathur. We'll be talking to Deepankar about his personal and professional life, as well as the startup that he built at his time at Masters Union, as well as love that he explored at Masters Union, making him the student commonly known as the highest ROI student at Masters Union. We also have a surprise announcement where Deepankar has recently got an opportunity, which we're very, very excited to share with you. So stay tuned to the middle of the episode where we'll be talking more about that. So what's up, Deepankar? How was your day today?
Oh, it was a little hectic. I traveled from Jaipur, came here, went back to hostel, which was the best part till now. Freshen up, and I'm here.
So are you from Jaipur?
Yeah, I'm from Jaipur.
And how, interesting that, from Jaipur and coming to Masters Union, do you think Masters Union is popular where you're from?
Oh, yeah, definitely. So when I applied for Masters Union, a lot of people are talking about, and like a couple of my cousins who are, very like industry veterans. So they also told me about, Kyocha, this is a new B school, you should check it out. And they themselves are IIMA grads. So they recommending Masters Union was little bit more, encouraging to me that, okay, if they are recommending, then I should check it out. And when I checked it out, it was fantastic. So
Yeah, so you got a testimony from people you looked up to. You knew that was something that was there. Interesting. So with these podcasts, especially when we're talking to our students, we just want to get to know them better, where they're coming from, and obviously how they've expressed themselves here, what their experiences have been like here, and what you're looking forward to in the future. So either we can take a back to front or a front to back kind of approach. But for me, I think we'll start in the middle, okay? Because from our experiences and interactions, one thing that I really found fun and incredible work that you were doing was the startup that you had, Funtoosh, at the time. So just some context for the viewers, Masters Union has the VIP program, the Venture Initiation Program. All students get into teams and have to create a startup. So yours was Funtoosh. Do you want to take me through that journey, perhaps?
Sure. So that actually starts a little bit earlier, before like in a term zero.
Okay.
So we had a drop shipping business that we had to do. In that, like the team, like we had to form teams randomly, and we formed one team, which somehow it came out to be like really wonderful team. We loved working with each other, and frankly, we had worked roughly around 10 to 15 days. But in those 15 days, we realized that okay, we are really good. We became very good friends, and we decided that okay, then, like we have to move to the VIP. Let's work it on together. So from I think day 1 or day 2, we started talking about ideas. And when Pratham introduced the VIP program, we were like, okay, let's do it properly. So we started thinking about ideas, and it took us like 4 months to decide the idea like on which we have to work. And luckily at that time, our senior cohort, the first cohort, was here. So whatever ideas we had, we were able to find someone from that diversity, from that background, and we talk to him or her, and get a validation, like is there a genuine problem or need for that idea. And most of the ideas were rejected. People from that were saying that okay, no, I've worked in this industry and I know for a fact this is not a proper need. We have solutions already built in. So that's how pivoting happened, and finally we came out with the idea that we all liked. Luckily there was no proper solution till now, and later on we understood why there was no solution, but at that stage we found out that it's a good idea. The idea was simple, that long time ago there was this not long time ago there was this app called QuizUp, right? So during my undergrad I used to play that a lot. It's like two friends competing on a quiz, 7 quizzes, and you just play. And then there was another app called Loco, which was in 11 or 30 seconds or 60 seconds they'll ask question. There will be a host called Gaurav Kapoor, the famous anchor, and he would ask questions. We have to tick mark the answers, and based upon your time and accuracy, you'll get cash rewards. So imagine like one day you're earning just 30 rupees in 1 minute. So that was a kick. So we figured out that, okay, this was such a good idea. We used to get kick a lot by earning money, and we used to love playing quizzes, be it on Friends, India, or whatever. And somehow both of these app got closed. What we figured out, QuizUp was closed because there was no revenue. Loco was closed because to generate revenue, they had a lot of ads. So we thought, why not just take QuizUp and Loco and create an idea, a social media gaming app which can, people can come play quizzes and earn money. What unique thing we introduced in that was that we will onboard influencers. So what these influencers will do is they will conduct the host. So the problem of getting users will be solved by the influencers, and these influencers will be based upon how many participation they have in their quiz. So for example, any influencer which has 500k followers, if they are able to bring 100k users, we'll get revenue from those 100k and we'll pay the influencer based upon that 100k. Benefit is that the users will get to earn money, compete. They get to see their influencer a lot more in the live action. Influencer can monetize because not all influencers are able to monetize their users, right? And for us, we would be making money. So that was the idea. There were four of us: I, Muskan Garg, Ashraya Gur, and Abhishek Mukherjee. So we four, started I think from October, working on it late nights in college, in hostel, sometimes in cafe, and we skipped a summer internship. We were in the college throughout. We got a lot of guidance from faculty, Pratham, college, and everybody. So yeah, that happened in I think May or June. We launched that app. We got roughly 5,000 users. A lot of people were playing. People were enjoying. In the end, we had to close it because we found one flaw, which you could only learn when you were doing it. The flaw was that in a real money gaming app, people are mostly loyal to money. They're never loyal to the app or to the game. Like for example, if you talk about Zomato, Swiggy, or Amazon or Flipkart, you'll find that most of the people are loyal to Amazon or Flipkart. There are either any people who migrate between these two. But in real money gaming, people who are coming to these apps are coming for the money. So once they stop earning money, they're gone. So it's a cash burning model, which we realized early. So we thought like, okay, there's no point in going in a cash burning model. We keep on burning cash and there would be no profitability. So we stopped it. But
awesome. Yeah, no, that's a very interesting take, and thank you for the context and like the entire establishment. But I'm curious just to kind of unpack this further. How did the curriculum at Masters Union, when you were studying here, the stuff that you learned, how did that influence what you were, did that influence what you did in terms of your business decisions, your marketing decisions, etc., etc., and vice versa? Did you get any learnings from there that, you felt that, okay, it optimized your learning or of a subject or in the classroom? Like, how did these two things intermix in terms of a learning kind of framework?
So what we realized is that the curriculum and this VIP challenge, they acted as a complementary to each other. What do I mean by complementary is, so for example, let's take marketing research, right? So we had marketing research in I think second semester or third semester. So during that, we were given a project that every group has to do a market research, conduct user interviews. And when you are creating your MVP, like minimum viable product, you need to understand from the consumer point of view, like the people who's your target audience potential, you need to understand if they also want the product or it's just in your head. So what we did was, to do that project, we asked Bhupesh sir that, sir, can we do this for our startup? He was very happy. He said, please do it. And by the way, we got the highest mark in that project. So we went to Delhi University because initially that was our target audience. We conducted roughly around 125 interviews, collated that data and got insights. Those insights help us get some grades and worked in our favor in creating the MVP. We could fine tune the initial products that we were offering according to that, to their needs. So this is one very basic example where we could use it. Apart from that, I think there was this course on no code tools, like coding, how to code an app. So that helped us in understanding how we can make our app, on which platform we should use. And then there was I think course on design thinking, which taught us Figma. So like in Masters Union, the courses are for roughly 20 hours. So obviously, we understand that in 1.5 months or 20 hours of coaching, you won't be able to understand that course in a very depth knowledge. Of course, that's not practically possible. But what helped us was that they gave us an idea. So when we opened Figma, late after 20 hours, it was not alien to us. So we got the idea how this works, how this is done, and depending upon our need, we searched a little bit more and created the entire Figma design on ourselves. But that initial introduction to the Figma tool was done with the course. So that's how both of them went complementary. And whatever the project we got in a course, if we used to do it for our app. Like we created screens, the Figma like flow, everything on our as a project, and we submitted as a project, and sir was happy. And for the same thing, we got free guidance from the master. Like he was the master, right? He used to help a lot of big MNCs. So he helped us in designing our logo, our app, and everything. So I think which helped us a lot getting a free consulting from marketing geniuses like these CXOs.
At least it seems to me is that these minimum viable toolkits, I'll call it, are given to each student, or depending on the course or the class. Okay, you can know about R or Python or design or whatever it is, and if you want to get deeper into that, you can. But then since you're working in a team, or you might be supervising teams that might be doing that, you should at least not be fooled when you're a manager. So I guess that gives you that baseline knowledge to cover that. That's a very interesting story to see how courses that you've learned can be directly applicable to the product that you're building, and getting 5,000 users to. That's a pretty big achievement, I would say, for a natively launched app, and must have been a extremely big experience to learn from, I would say.
Definitely. I mean, we got some testimonials as well, and like whenever smallest testimonial, it meant a lot. So like whenever we write something nice about any particular product that we like on LinkedIn or Instagram, we don't think how much impact that would have on the founder. But when we got those testimonials, it really made an impact that, okay, yes, we are doing something which is helping someone, or not just helping, but making little bit of impact. Even for the 30 seconds, 60 seconds he's using our app, he or she, they are enjoying it. So that testimonial was a lot big, booster for us rather than any other aspect. So,
yeah, I mean, and plus just thinking from it from a experience point of view, whoever you're speaking to, whether it's a mentor or a new, where somewhere where you want to work, whatever you're speaking, you can just talk about this as a big part of your life experience, which I would say blends both your academic learnings as well as the app that you had created. Okay, coming back to something that you had mentioned at the start, you said you had a team at the very start, at term 0 of the dropshipping project. You made great friends with these people. I want to stress on the point of diversity. Okay, so would you say these 4 people that that was in the team, were they from common backgrounds or no, from very different backgrounds?
No. There was some commonality, but differences were there. There was diversity and commonality. So, like Muskan, she's from literature background. Then she did a diploma from Mumbai in advertisement. So she's completely from different background, different industry, different mindset. I, on the other hand, was a typical engineering graduate who went to work with a consulting firm.
I mean, that's a tip to our viewers, by the way. Someone from a literature and ad background built a tech app, right?
Yeah,
as a startup, right? So we get a lot of questions just about like, hey, I'm not from a tech background.
Correct.
What do I do? So,
correct.
That's something.
Then there's Abhishek, who did his engineering, computer science, had a 4-year work ex in a bank. And then there was Ashrey, who did his engineering, but he had a 7 years work ex in sales. So he had experience of making a team and creating a whole team, entire team, and setting up entire division. So he had the leadership experience that we required to give us direction, to segregate work. Muskan had like creativity, ingenuity. She has a very good understanding of people. She has a very good understanding of marketing, what to write, how to communicate, what should the design language would be. Abhishek had a good sense of coding because 4 years he was coding. I, being part of consulting firm, I was a person who was, called to solve any kind of problem. Like I was responsible for data, but I was also responsible for anything that the team cannot fulfill. I was the go-to person.
Understood.
So whatever they need, they require, like, okay, this function needs to be taken care of. Like, for example, finance needs to be taken care of. I am that person.
Got it.
If, operations was a challenge, I was the person. So I was the troubleshooter.
Understood.
So this is how we, mix and match and did everything.
Yeah, I mean, you've come, directly to the heart of it. I was looking at more at it from a, as you said, educational and geographical background, but you're talking about a diversity and complementary skill sets.
Correct.
I think that's something that adds a lot of value, not just to maybe your project, but in group projects in class, or maybe how you're learning over here, or even to the peer-to-peer aspect that that's being added over here. I want to touch on a different element. You said at the start that you had come from Jaipur and visited the hostel. Right?
Yeah.
How is the hostel? Are you enjoying it?
So this is, I think, when I came today, right? So I shifted to Jaipur on 13th of October, like packed my things and went to Jaipur. So today I came back and it was such a nostalgic feeling. Like I was almost about to cry, and to see friends and everything and stay back in the same room, it was fantastic. Like the hostel is extremely comfortable, of course, but I think the people in the hostel made it home.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, the hostel here is no less than a 5-star hotel, but the people, they made it a home. So
I mean, okay, there's another thing I want to unpack here, and people might be curious because they're thinking, hey, there are other students still living in the hostel, which is close to our campus, while you're living in Jaipur, and how come that is the case? You're still currently doing your program and have not graduated. Perhaps you'd want to expand on how flexible the program can get, say halfway through, and how you can customize and how you've decided to customize your experience here.
Sure. So I think initial 4 semesters are core courses which we have to do, and post that we have electives.
Yeah.
And because it's masters, so some masters love to come and teach here. People like masters who are very experienced and might have some issues with traveling, they do it online. So, and luckily I got a great job, so I joined recently.
We'll be talking about that. Yeah.
Sure. So yeah, masters didn't give me the flexibility that I can take my classes online. The good thing is each and every lecture is recorded. So I have the flexibility of watching lectures from my first semester till my new semester. And whatever assignments or the master gives, we can obviously coordinate with the friends and make that happen. But I do have the flexibility of if I get a great opportunity, I can join that and continue my study as well. It's not hampering, like I have to let go of the opportunity.
I would say that's pretty rare, right? Yeah. In say compared
in
to
MBA,
other,
I don't think it's anywhere in the country.
It doesn't exist anywhere else. I mean, for us, I'd say the intention is to keep you working or keep you learning through working, right? I mean,
definitely.
This, I mean, if you, as you said, you've got a fantastic opportunity, and the fact that you can invest more time into that or get better prepared for the remainder of the time that you have to, so you can devote more. So that's something that I would love to.
Pointing out one of my friends, she got internship in CRED. So in the past 9 months, she has been working with CRED and attending the college at the same time. So I think that kind of flexibility and flexibility only is very rare in an MBA college. Like in all the MBA colleges across India, you have a fixed time frame of 2 months. If you like the company in those 2 months, you go ahead with it. Otherwise, you are done. But here she got to work 9 months with a very good organization. I think she's working in CRED, and she made really good connections. And whatever she was learning there, she could actually apply, or whatever learning here, she could actually apply there. So it was a good mix and match that college offered. So it's pretty good.
Awesome. Oh, yeah. And so now coming to the the golden section, as I say. But just to give it some context, we recently had our first convocation with our first cohort. They graduated and we had the ceremony in Bangalore. And we were grateful enough to have the founder and CEO of Zerodha, Nitin Kamath, come to the ceremony and address our students there. In the spirit of having, let's say, great CXOs already interact with our students as well. So we just kind of carried on that tradition. But you were also there, in Bangalore. Yeah. And so perhaps why don't you tell this story your way rather than me kind of giving it?
No. How about it? I think I would love to hear it from you, but it's...
So, okay, walk me through the days then. Like, how about you, I'll start off by giving bits and then you can kind of complete the picture. So, okay. Obviously we'll come to it as a grand conclusion, but you were interviewing with obviously Zerodha. Yeah. And why don't you walk me through that process? How was the, the role, maybe the prep, how were you thinking about it? Because what I would want to kind of end at is something that you've achieved.
Sure. So, I think when Pratham went to talk to Nitin about convocation, So actually, you know what? Interesting story. So when he was about to leave and go talk to founders of like Nitin Kamath in Delhi, at the same time, we were pitching our startup to Pratham.
Okay.
We were to tell him ki like, hey, we want to discuss our startup, so let's talk. He told ki like, hey, I'm driving, like I'm going to meet someone in a meeting. Why didn't you guys hop in and we'll talk in the car? And at that moment we said, okay, we'll hop on. So from college itself, we went till in Delhi somewhere with Pratham, and in that like roughly 45-50 minutes, we told him about the startup. And oh, by the way, my co-founder Muskan, she is.
We'll come to that also.
Okay, so we both told him the story and everything, and we told him like, this is the startup we are working on, and this is the stage we have achieved. We have got so many users and blah blah blah. So he was very excited to see that, and he was like, great, I'm just talking to one person who might be coming to a convocation of your seniors. So we are like, cool, and we came back after like 3 weeks or 4 weeks. Pratham came to us and he told that, hey guys, I pitched Masters Union to Nitin and told him about that, how Masters Union, what we are doing, and he really liked it. And he told that they want to hire from our college. So they had like 4 roles. One was founder's office, which I was very much interested in. And the minimum, like one major requirement was that the person should be a trader. Lucky for me, I have been trading in options, stocks, and everything from 2019. So I thought that, okay, this looks like a good opportunity. Let's give it a shot. And at that time, I was working on my startup, so I did not have a proper thought that, okay, I'll do a job or take the startup away. I was confused. So I did the assignment. There was an assignment, and let me tell you, that was the most hectic weekend I had in Masters Union. Like, wow. Those 48 hours was immense. And not just for us. Like, Pratham was there 48 hours. Like, that's the most I have seen him in the college with us. Because for 48 hours, whatever time, be it 1 p.m., 1 a.m., 3 p.m., 3 a.m., 10 a.m., we text him. He used to reply that, okay, whatever help we needed, he was there. We gave him our assignment multiple times to review and check, and he used to provide his comments and everything. So by Monday morning, we submitted the assignments. I think couple of weeks later, fortunately, they liked my assignment and they were like, okay, we would like to take this person's interview. So, first round happened, then 3-4 weeks later, second round happened. And for the third round, they said that third round, Nitin wants to take your third round. So why don't you fly to Bangalore? So I was like, okay. And luckily that day, like when Nitin took my interview, was just one day before a convocation. So I went there, I had a chat. Frankly, that was a very fanboy moment for me, because obviously Nitin Kamath is like an idol to a lot of people in our country, not just for me, but most of the budding entrepreneurs, because he has created something which is very unique in India. So I had a great chat with him. Like, he is so humble, such an amazing person to interact with. And I think when I interviewed with him, so the entire interview process, it was so smooth, such a great interview. Like, one of the reasons why I joined MU and Zerodha was, when the interview happened, right, I never felt that they were interviewing me. I felt that these people genuinely wanted to know who I was, what I have done, and why I have done it. Whatever decision I took, what was the reason behind it? And if I failed somewhere, why did I fail? And what am I doing to, not see that same failure repeat? So this is the reason why I chose MU and Zerodha.
Okay, so, we were talking about the recent opportunity that you've just gained with Zerodha, and, you're working directly in the founder's office with Nitin. Obviously, must be an exciting prospect. Yeah. I'm curious to know how you're gearing up for it, and like, are they asking you to come to Bangalore at any point, and what plans for that?
Yeah, I mean, to be very honest, it would be foolish when you get a chance to work with Nitin Kamath and you don't go to office.
Yeah,
because they are work from home, but on Friday, the founders of the Z team, as they call it, they come to office and interact with Nitin, gain a lot of things. So I am planning to shift to Bangalore in mid-December, and gearing up for it is so my main motive is to learn as much as possible from Nitin Kamath, and not just in terms of profession but personal life, because how he has transformed himself, like like person who loves cars and watches and expensive things, to a person who is valuing more personal touches, like family and all. So, and how he's able to manage his personal professional life, how he's creating a culture where this is like family is becoming more important than your work. So that is what I'm looking forward to. uh, and apart from that, it's a new industry, completely unknown to me, because I've been towards their client side. I've been part of the other side, working as their client, trading and everything. But what goes on at the back end, how do they operate at such a large scale? That is something I'm looking forward to, excited. Hopefully, what some of the skills I learned in my previous organization in MU will be helpful to me, and obviously there will be new tools and everything to learn. So just excitement and open to learning.
Yeah, curious that, building a startup got you to be, working with someone who's built the,
Yeah.
one of the biggest startups. So it's quite, cyclical in terms of like starting small and then reaching somewhere very, very, very big. You mentioned family there, and it would be a miss for me not to touch on this point. But you mentioned Muskan earlier, right? So it's an interesting story. Do you want to give us some? How did you guys met at the drop shipping? You guys started. You guys got to know each other there at that point.
Yeah. So.
So walk us through the journey. How did you guys meet, and what's happening now?
All right. So initially, when we got our admits, so we were looking to connect with our batchmates, like future potential batchmates, and we had like two Muskans in our like who were potentially joining MU, and one of them was from Jaipur, so I contacted both of them, and the first call I had with Muskan was roughly around 1.5 hours, and which was bizarre because you don't connect with someone first time you talk to 1.5 hours. So that's how we connected. Then we did our drop shipping together and became really good friends. Post coming to MU, I think very somehow like Ashay, who was part of our startup, he somehow figured it out that I have something for Muskan, and he pointed that out to me. By that time, I did realize it, but I was skeptical, like should I go for it or not? And he said that, dude, MBA is the place to find a life partner. So do you have someone in mind? And I told him that, okay, I think it's Muskan. So he's motivated me, like, okay, she's a great girl, you should ask her out. I did. Lucky for me, she said yes. And from that day, we have been doing pretty much everything together in MU, and hopefully we might get married soon. So that's pretty much it. So we did classes together, we did projects together, we did our startup together.
Yeah, you founded a company together, right?
Correct. We have a company together, and I think we're pretty much sharing everything in our life, and hoping the future would be will bless us in the same way. So
awesome. Like Masters Union, has been had a lot more to offer than just the professional front.
So the joke in MU is that I am the person who got the maximum ROI. Like in a typical MBA terms, I got the maximum ROI.
Fantastic.
From Masters Union.
Yeah, I mean, I hope that promotes, instead of people asking questions about, hey, if I'm a correct fit for this place, is to check the, other students or other people that are coming here and saying, hey, can I, eventually marry someone at the end of the day? Not that you should go through our website with the perspective of the marriage, but that's interesting. I mean, just to have had that experience, it's a fantastic life story to kind of, go ahead and tell other people that both on the personal and professional fronts, you can see that, again, you founded imagine like, with your partner, you're co-founding a company, and then having or sharing that experience in the context of an MBA college. And then, eventually, you guys are going to live together. So is, Muskan will also be coming with you to Bangalore, I hope?
Yeah, I guess.
Awesome.
I hope. Yeah.
And
awesome. One interesting part. So a lot of people think that people who are engineers, they go to MBA colleges, they get good shortlist and everything. And people who are from non-tech background, they figure out, they think that, okay, are we really fit for the program or not? But what I realize is, the maximum amount of learning I had from a peer-to-peer learning basis was from Muskan. The reason being the kind of perspective, thinking, knowledge she had, I was totally unaware of. And what all things that she taught me was so unique to me that they really helped me as a person. And I think one of those things only helped me crack the final interview with Nitin. Because with Nitin, you won't expect him to, ask a coding question or Excel question. He would be more into understanding human.
Like your personality.
Yeah, exactly. And how to communicate that better. What should be my priorities, like my goals.
If it's okay with you, how did he ask that? How does someone like that check? How does someone like Nitin check that in some? Like, what would be a question that he could ask?
I'm not sure if I should reveal it, but okay. So he asked me that what is my short term and long term goals.
Okay.
So my reply was that I'm about to get married to my college sweetheart, and my 3-year, 5-year, or maybe you can call it 10-year. All of those are same, and these goals are that I want to enjoy my life and spend time with my wife and family. That is my short, long, whatever you call goal for now. Because I don't like before this working in a consultancy, I have grinded.
The grind.
I worked 18 hours a day and whatnot. And after that, I realized and COVID happened. So I realized that work is part of life, and enjoying life in my prime is a lot more important to me.
Wow. You've grown 16 years in 16 months. It seems that, you've accelerated the process.
And I think what Nitin told me was that this is the most interesting answer in the entire interview that he thought. So I think that is one thing that, tilted.
Appeal to him for sure. Interesting. Wow. Okay, so let me transition more into, a section in which I would want to, ask you to be more spontaneous, right? And just think off the top of your head, and I'll be asking you about your experiences here, your experiences at, Masters Union, maybe before. But let's go ahead with the favorite professor that you've had.
Okay. I have 2-3.
Okay, go ahead.
Bhupesh sir, Nandini ma'am, Akash sir. They were like instrumental. Talking about masters, Thomas Kuruvilla, he was really, I loved him. Like if you talk about top 4.
Got it. What about favorite course or class?
I don't think there was one.
So okay, name 2-3 like you did last time.
No, I think the entire MU course was my favorite.
All of it?
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. How about favorite assignment?
Favorite assignment?
Or maybe it was a non-traditional way to do something.
I think it was not an assignment, it was one class. So we had an R boot camp. And in that, Nandini ma'am asked who wants to, I don't want to go for a traditional TA. I want somebody from class to become a TA. And I was the TA in that class.
Oh, you were the TA for your own class?
Yeah, I was the TA for my own class. And it was a Halloween weekend. So we all dressed up as something Halloween. We had paints and everything. I became, I think, a Mickey Mouse. And then we had a class. We had music in the class. We were coding. I was helping my batchmates with R. And I think that was the most interesting class I had.
Wow, everyone in Halloween costume, music is playing and you're
and I'm the TA in my own class.
Fantastic. And what about, let's say, favorite memory from Masters Union, if you had to pick one or two? So,
favorite memory?
That could be, again, professional or personal.
Okay. I think it was when we, the day we launched our startup. It was pretty special because there was a lot of hard work that went into it. It all came together. We finally had an app. We launched it and we started getting some users, obviously friends and family. But when we saw people playing, I think that was quite surreal.
Being like, oh wow, it's actually
happening.
It's actually happening. Interesting. I mean, okay, you've we usually end the podcast with one message, and we've already got you to talk about a couple of things that are related to the viewers of this. I mean, the non-tech aspect of Masters Union you talked about. I think Muskan's story is beautiful for answering that kind of question. But how about you take this personally? I mean, I assume the people who might be watching this are interested to attend Masters Union in some capacity. So for, let's say, the fourth cohort that we might be looking for in the future, any piece of advice on, let's keep three things. How about advice as an applicant before coming to Masters Union, advice as a student while, how to make the most of their time as a Masters Union thing, and advice as a employee, like once they graduate, what, something they should keep in their minds for a good professional life. So let's start with applicant first.
Okay. So during my I'll give a little bit context.
Sure.
Tulsa. So during my undergrad, right, I did something which I'm grateful that I did. So during my first year, I did a internship in a core EC, like my EC branch engineering internship. I did not like it. So after first year, I was like, I'm not gonna become a good engineer, that's for sure. In the second year, so I decided okay, let's explore. So I did an internship in marketing. In third year, I did an internship in finance. And in the final year, I did an internship again in finance in JP Morgan. So that gave me an idea that, okay, when you enter a college, you have to experiment to find out where your passion lies. It's a very cliched answer, but that's, you have to figure it out. And for the applicants, right, if you have a genuine curiosity to, learn, explore anything and everything. Like if you are from a non-tech background, you want to explore coding. Or you're from a coding background, you want to explore marketing. Or even if you want to explore social media, like, the creator challenge we have, Masters Union is the place. If you're just here to, experiment, learn, fail. If you're not afraid of failing, Masters Union is the place. If you have a slight doubt that, okay, what if my money goes to wastage, I don't get a job, not the place for you.
You won't be able to make the best.
Yeah, because when I joined, I had no idea, I had no plans that, okay, what am I going to do? I just had a confidence that, okay, whatever I'm going to do, I will at least do something good for myself.
So you based your decision off the curriculum, right? Because you had a couple of other options as well for you to go to.
Yeah, I had a few IIMs and MDI. So my only decision of joining MU was that it's good, experimentative. At least here, I won't have to worry about, getting good grades and a summer internship. At least I have a flexibility to, explore, follow my heart. If that doesn't work out in 16 months, then I'll know I'm made for this particular job. If it works out, at least I won't have a regret that I didn't try it.
Yeah, that's not, living with those regrets is something that
16 months will give you that opportunity when you have left the job, but you are doing something productive.
Makes sense. So that's as an applicant. Now let's come to Masters Union as a student. Advice as a student. How do you make the most of your time here?
First of all,
as the person with the highest ROI. Yeah.
I think first of all, you have to be very open-minded. Like if whatever opportunity comes, be it person, profession, take it. It doesn't matter. Like I know everybody have plans that, okay, I'll go to MBA, get a job, then find a love. If love is coming pehle, make it happen. Job mil jayega. If job is coming pehle, get that job. Love life sorted ho jayegi. So whatever opportunity comes to you, take it, grab it, and move ahead. While being here, I think best advice would be never ever think about getting a job. The moment you start thinking about the job, the moment you lose the essence of Masters Union.
Yeah, third batch, listen to this.
Yeah, so I think that's the pretty much advice. Like experiment as much as possible, because these are the last safest time you can have. Because after this, you get into a job, and then losing that, like quitting that job to start something is a lot riskier.
Makes sense.
In these 16 months, you have already taken that risk. So make a full use of that time.
And then finally, advice as an employee, let's say you're exiting Masters Union, what are those professional qualities do you think one must develop to be a good worker or to contribute well?
Well, on that front, I'm still figuring it out. But I think genuine curiosity is good enough. I think that curiosity itself
it's a good place to spark many other things, I'd say.
I'm having a curiosity about what is happening, why is it happening in a company is...
You're one Google search away, basically.
Exactly.
That's pretty interesting. Awesome. So, thanks, Deepankar. It's been a great conversation.
Yeah.
I did not know a lot of things that, you've told me about. So, Congratulations to you and Muskan as well.
Thank you.
And I mean, we look forward to you getting barraged by millions of LinkedIn messages on how to make the most out of Masters Union soon enough. So don't destroy his inbox, please. That was just a joke. Thank you, Deepankar. It was a lot of fun.
Thanks, Karan.